with the universe.
All right. Well, Rob, dude, thank you for taking the time out of the day. I know, obviously, like Riot Fest has been kind of a little bit of mayhem today just because of the rain and everything.
It's just part of it. It seems like every festival we do, there's a one day there's some weather. You know, it happens.
Keeps you on your toes.
Riot Fest, we always seem to have a delay on Sunday, so here we are.
Yeah, and we got that. So true to fashion.
There you go.
So obviously, we spoke a little bit throughout the weekend. One of the things I kind of wanted to do with a podcast with you is kind of go through sort of your journey with Punk Rock Saves Lives, sort of the founding of everything. And so I have a list of just things that I wanted to touch on. And one of the things I wanted to start off with was the origin story, sort of like what inspired the creation of Punk Rock Saves Lives and how your personal journey has sort of influenced its mission. I know it wasn't always Punk Rock Saves Lives. It evolved into this, but you can walk me through that.
It kind of involved, yeah, we evolved. We were employees of a charity called Love, Hope, Strength. And I got involved with them when a good friend of mine died in 2009, and I felt like I wasn't doing bad or good in the world, I just was living. And so 2 weeks after my friend died, I saw a documentary about my favorite singer, Mike Peters of The Alarm, climbing Mount Everest to raise money to fight cancer, because he was fighting cancer himself. And
he was climbing Mount Everest? That's wild.
They played the highest ever concert at that time, which was at Base Camp.
At Base Camp, yeah.
Which, they didn't go much further because they weren't trained climbers or anything. But they did, the best they could, and they did set the world record for 2 weeks, and then someone beat them after that. But I saw that documentary, and it made me reach out to them and say, what can I do to bring this to Nashville? I was living in Nashville at the time. They told me they were a small charity and didn't really have money to spread out. But I just literally said back to them, I didn't ask you for money, I asked you what I should do.
How I can help.
Yeah, and so I started volunteering with them, and after a year and a half of volunteering with them, they asked me to move to Denver and do it full time. And I was at the point in my life I wanted to change at that point. I felt the calling. So I moved to Denver and went full-time work for them in 2011. And for 2011 to 2019, I toured the United States constantly on Warped tours and Ozzy Osbourne tours. And
were you on 2011 and 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely crossed paths before. I knew you looked super familiar when I first ran into you, and I was like, there's something here. I don't know what this is. I'm really glad we got the chance to be able to get together and do this.
A lot of Andrew McMahon tours. And
oh, really?
Andrew's playing right now as we're talking with some of the corporates. So Andrew's alive today because he had a bone marrow transplant, one of our main missions. So it's pretty rad.
That's awesome, man.
But I did so much with them. But in 2019, they decided that they were going to do away with their American outreach. They had just reached the peak that they were looking for as a board of directors. And they laid my wife and I off. We were the last two employees. And we looked at each other and said we weren't done doing good. And the day our severance package hit, we launched this.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to key more on our punk rock roots, because that's where I come from. My wife will tell you she's a theater kid, and that, so. But
I knew plenty of theater kids that were also in the punk rock community. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But
something about that self-expression, really dialing into yourself.
It's beautiful. But we knew we still wanted to have the cancer component and do the bone marrow drives, but we wanted to grow it beyond just a cancer foundation. And that's when we started doing a lot of mental health work, helping people get the therapist if they need it, to try to break down the stigmas of saying you need help. We started doing harm reduction because my wife lost a dear friend, and there's just so much bad juju out there right now.
Glad you used juju.
I luckily never been a hard drug user, but I've got some friends.
Same.
And
it's hard when you're surrounded by it.
Yeah, and we're around it constantly in the music industry, and you shouldn't, plain and simple, you shouldn't die for hitting a little bump of coke at a party or something.
Right.
drugs are dangerous now. I mean,
more than ever.
and they're lacing them with
Fentanyl.
they're lacing them with xylazine, they're lacing them with all of this nasty stuff that is killing people instantly.
Right.
And so getting Narcan at all these festivals directly into people's hand has become a huge mission of ours. This weekend at Riot Fest alone, we've given out almost 1,000 doses.
That's crazy.
We're about to run out. And I mean, it's Sunday night and I want to run out.
Right.
But I didn't. I
That's
brought
your due diligence.
So much. Yeah, I brought so much. We're literally on the verge of running out, and that's great. And we even have a sober curious group. If punks need that, we don't tell you to drink or not drink. We don't tell you to do drugs or not do drugs. It's just be safe, and if you need help, we got your back.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, especially in the United States, I feel like we haven't broken that barrier of that stigma yet, and you see it a lot in European countries are very, very big on, it's all legal, and then if you have a problem with it, we're going to get you the help with it. But we're not here to tell you what to do and not to do, because I feel like that's also kind of like a sort of a weird tax or burden to put on the human condition of like experiencing and discovering for yourself the things that you want to explore.
Yeah, it's really not cool. It's
Well, bodily autonomy is like super huge in the punk rock community.
Big in our world, and we're definitely on the equal rights train. We do so much with
like progenitors of it, I feel like.
Yeah, we try. I mean, we try, and I'm even learning every day. I didn't grow up with pronouns, and I'm doing my damnedest every day to learn. And if I mess up, I ask for forgiveness and say I'm going to get it right. And that I've been told by my trans community and my friends that's more important than actually getting it right.
The intention's there.
You're trying, and Chris number 2 from Anti-Flag back in the day told me we're old punks, and he got it from, believe it or not, from Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Is we're old punks. We didn't have this growing up,
right?
And now we're learning that. So the intention is more important than the execution, and so learning something every day is absolutely beautiful. Do that. Learn something. And I know you've been told that. Go learn something every day. You know what I mean? It could be something silly.
Yeah.
It could be, this person played on this album, so-and-so. Or it could be somebody made this pinball machine. Or it could be this is a feeling someone suffers and you can help them.
Right.
So
don't write it off just because it's maybe not your initial go-to.
Exactly.
Yeah, that compassion and empathy is really kind of the bedrock, I think, of where you kind of can. That's the only place you can kind of grow from, especially when you're, the foundation of it.
Yeah, and we know you're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We've all made mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, but if you're trying and you're trying to learn something, you're trying to help people every day. It's a gorgeous thing, and nobody's perfect. And so if you have issues, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you want to learn, tell someone, I want to learn, I need some help. And that's what we're trying to get out there to the people and spread through, being at amazing music festivals, amazing tours. Like this year alone, we've been out with Bouncing Souls, we've been out with Mad Caddies, we've been out with the Iron Roses.
I saw the Bowling for Soup laminate.
Dude, yeah, my wife just finished the Bowling Soup tour last night. It's Jared, the lead singer, Jared Reddick, is on our board of directors and seriously on the forefront of men's mental health. We've been told big burly guys, we've been told get over it, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
And that's the worst possible thing. We're a bunch of bottled up old dudes because we didn't say, hey, I could use some help.
And we're seeing the fruit of that, in the mental health community, specifically with men. I mean, especially within the realm of like suicide and just like harm prevention and things like that.
And even on the military side, our military veterans can get in trouble for getting mental health. It goes in their. They're starting to get rid of that, but if they ask for help, that goes in their record.
Yeah,
You know
which
what I
is not like that, and that's, I mean, it's almost aligned with like UFO sightings. It's like all of that is like this mark on your record that you don't want to have, and so you avoid it at all costs.
That sucks.
It's not good,
I mean, there's
and it's not sustainable. Clearly,
exactly. We put a lot of amazing citizens of our country in war zones.
Yeah.
And we don't help them when they come home.
right. And returning to civilian life, I mean, I had friends in high school I was super close with. They were like my renegade friends, and I watched them come back as different people. And it's really hard because you can't parlay to them any way that's going to get them back to. You can't come back from that other side of the fence sometimes, and it's really kind of a tragedy because without that support system in place, there's no way for us to rehabilitate or grow. Like, I mean, I follow in like the neurological community the use of like MDMA to treat PTSD,
I have
and
a
they're
friend that just went through the whole thing in Mexico, where the super heavy ketamine and all that to reprogram their brain. And
right, and that's unfortunately what it
veteran,
takes.
And he's on cloud nine right now. I don't know the whole procedure. I don't, and it's not cheap for the people if you're coming out of your pocket to do it. But he reminds me of the kid I knew again.
Right.
For the first time in a really long time.
And it's really weird when you see it because you've got your lens is what you're observing everything through. So when you see not just a change, but like a fractions of degrees, like by marks over notable change, you're like, you're back. Like this person I thought was gone is now here again.
Yeah. And I like to say, we're talking about some military people. I'm not for war. I am very anti-war. But I know a lot of our punks did not have a pathway in life had they not done military.
That's a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. College isn't for me. I don't want to work in the trade.
That's their path to get out of it. It's sad that
it's a path.
Yeah, a path, and it might be their only path.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
And that's not a bad thing, but it for some of the stuff they get put through, it becomes bad.
Right.
So let's encourage the people that put them on that path to make the path to getting better or surviving it better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So, and there's some amazing organizations that do that. That is not our focus. My buddy Larry, that is one of our main volunteers, works with a lot of those organizations because he is one of those veterans himself. He's here with us today. So
we've done work with Mission 22 for some of our music releases.
The 22 thing is true, and it's sad. 22 veterans die every day.
And that's like... And that's like the average, right? So like there are days that are way worse, holidays and things like that are especially like anniversaries of events that, somebody who's in active military or post-active military that is really gonna like not just latch on to something unwillingly, but because they are almost like you gotta get conditioned almost to do it.
So that those have become our real, bedrocks of our missions with Punk Rock Sucks. The good thing is we can always do more equality initiatives. We can do more medical initiatives. I'm a diabetic. I spend thousands upon thousands of dollars a year for my sensors and my insulin.
Right, and insulin just got capped finally within the last 2 years.
It hasn't come through yet.
Right, yeah.
I can promise you that. I'm still spending. We have insurance as Punk Rock Saves Lives. It's not good insurance, but it's insurance.
Right.
But I still have to pay so much money for my insulin until the what are they called? Deductibles hit and all that stuff. I had to pay $900 the other day for enough of my sensors for blood sugar just to get through the last 3 months of tour.
Which is crazy because when you think about it, I think we, by and large, want like smaller government. We maybe want less regulation, but I don't think we actually want less regulation. We want more intelligible regulation. Like, you don't want people to be able to put things in food that are going to lead us down this path where we're seeing more and more diabetics every year than previously.
Diabetic is educational. and it's lifestyle, but it's also genetic. So you don't know.
Certainly.
And so, yes, we can teach people to eat a little better or help people in the food deserts and stuff like that. Try to get a chance to get better food, but ultimately there's still going to be the problem of diabetes until they find a thing. There's a great charity here in Chicago, the T1 Foundation, and they throw a rad festival every year. A bunch of punk bands play, raise money for type 1 diabetes. It's pretty rare. There's so many good nonprofits doing so many things, and we want to be floating in that ether in the middle of them and helping those little things in between and them, if that makes sense.
It's very constructive activism as opposed to activism for activism's
And we really
sake.
believe in working hand in hand with other nonprofits. We don't think we're in competition. We think we're
You're just trying to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Like, a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
Like, let's all be doing that.
So that's where punk rock saves lives came from, and we're completely evolving every day, and it's new and cool and amazing volunteers. We've got 12 chapters going around America right now. So it's just people doing it themselves, grassroots, through us. They're working under our 501c3, and they're doing good things. They're going to grassroots shows in their town. So you might go to your favorite little punk club, and there's a harm reduction box, or there's someone that'll listen to you if you're having the worst mental health day of your day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's only gonna. My wife and I might have been the initial catalyst, but that's what we want it to be. We want to be the catalyst to every one of you out there doing something good in the world, so.
No, were you always like, this is obviously like partially, I know it's 501c3, but like the mentality that goes behind kind of birthing something like this and not just creating it but then growing it is kind of rooted in entrepreneurialism a little bit. Were you always pretty entrepreneurial?
Yeah, I've been a salesman my whole life.
It seems like it's antithetical to like the punk rock theme, right? But like, it is crazy to think, like, why do you think it is that punk rock culture and values align so much with a cause like this?
It's 100% DIY.
Right, yeah, for sure. That's definitely it.
Punk rock would not exist today had somebody thought of something, wanted to make it happen, did it in their basement, printed their t-shirts themselves, and played the music they wanted to play, and pushed it, gone out and give out flyers until 20 people were in their basement.
Yeah.
And then 100 people the next time.
Right.
And then, and it was, punk rock didn't come from a record label.
No, absolutely not.
It came from people doing it. It grew and the mainstream caught to it in the 90s.
Right, when the culture grows large enough, people will eventually kind of adopt it.
With Nirvana, and then that opened some creaky doors, and then right behind it with Offspring and Pennywise and all the guys just truly blowing the doors open, and the mainstream went, wait a minute,
Right.
The ska thing, ska was amazing in the 70s, 80s, and then it kind of disappears, and then a bunch of kids in Southern California blow the door back out when it
Vern Gainesville, you got less than Jake.
And but it's like, these were diehards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And ska and punk to me are just part of the same love, and that's why we jokingly have this Ska Saves Life shirt that looks like
I saw all the trombones and
like a
horns.
Sharpie knocked out punk rock and red ska, and that's what it's really about. Is we're all of this community. There's a lot of metal here today. I'm the kid that grew up liking metal and punk.
Same.
And standing in the middle going, why do these people act like they hate each other?
Right, why can't you like both? It's not an if-or kind of situation. It's like it can easily very much so be both.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So I wanted to ask you about that. Like, why is it that you think that as a genre and a community, punk rock really kind of focuses on like fostering activism and social change? Like, what is it that is rooted so heavily in that culture that kind of branches into this social change aspect?
It's really strange because in a lot of ways people think punk rock was straight up nihilism, and
It's been seen to be manifested that way. I can see why.
That's where it might have came from. The Sex Pistols thing and
right.
No Future,
Anarchy in the UK, all that.
All that came And, you know, that might have been some of the initial, but the punk I come from were 7 Seconds and The Clash and people saying, you know, racism sucks, saying stand with your brother. If someone falls down, we pick them up.
Exactly.
You know, that's a rule of the pit. Make it a rule of life.
Exactly.
And, the Stern Brothers, you know, there's so many, the Better Youth Organization movement and everything. And then things like Propaganda, when it came along, it was all about education. Propaganda in the days always had booksellers at their shows. They had, you know, different streams of thought going on where you could learn, and the DIY ethics. So that became punk, and that's my punk.
Yeah, I feel like I always kind of observed that, like, you were being, if you identified in any way with the culture, you were kind of being challenged to think outside of the box you might have grown up in, and it's hard to break that box for a lot of people. I mean, you're raised by your family, your close circle, your friends, like, their influences, they're not always necessarily positive, they certainly can not be, but there is something about already kind of having this like outcast mentality that can be really debilitating and harmful to the individual. But if you look at it as almost like not necessarily a badge of honor, but as like a means of being like, hey, I'm already used to being challenged. What other ways could I be challenged to kind of expand my worldviews and my thought process to kind of connect and grow within this community and like the very nihilistic punk mentality. I don't think it was sustainable. So even if it did kind of get birthed from that, it couldn't on its own legs stand forever.
And that's why there's been all of these different waves of punk.
Right.
Is that, yes, the punk is dead and the 77 punk is gone. And guess what? Probably should be.
And it had to. Yeah, like it had to die.
Yeah. And, you know, there's still some stragglers. You know, you still have your Exploiteds. You still have some of the bands that were there, and they're still doing it, and that's their thing.
Yeah.
But
even like for you said it's a calling, right? Like I think that's why it happens.
Yeah, and then you got your second wave of early 80s, mid 80s, followed the Black Flags and and then the birth of the Pennywises and the Offsprings and all these bands that fed off of all of that, and it kept growing. And now there's a whole wave, and then the emo bands.
Yeah. I definitely dabbled there for a long time.
That, you know, I saw all that with the work tours I did, and the evolution of that. And now, you know, we just did, as Punk Rock Saves Lives, we went out on the Sad Summer Fest, and amazing bands like the Wonder Years and Real Friends and The Main and everything are evolving beyond emo or punk and becoming just new things. And good for them.
I want to say part of that might be some of them are dads now. I feel like when you start caring for other people on a very intrinsic, like, paternal level or maternal level, depending on the band, you kind of realize like, oh, I've got to be doing it's all got to be done like this.
One of my begs, and I've had to learn this same thing, but my begs for the listeners out there is stop being gatekeepers.
Yeah, certainly. It's not helpful.
I hate when and I did it, and I don't like myself for
it's a
doing
phase.
It. But saying, oh, that's not punk, bullshit.
Right.
If it was punk to you and it helped you form your opinions on something and move on, then awesome. That was your punk.
Yeah.
We were asked to swab at Lollapalooza 3 years ago when there was not a single punk band. Not a single one. And we were there as Punk Rock Saves Lives. And kids would come up and go, oh, that's awesome, I was a punk. And I would literally say, oh, tell me your punk story.
Right, let me hear it.
Yeah, let me hear it. And they'd tell me, oh man, I listened to My Chemical Romance in my bedroom my whole sophomore summer. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that was great. Good for you.
Right.
You know, and I think they were afraid this gray-haired Mohawk punk rocker was
would tell them that wasn't enough.
That wasn't enough. And I think it's beautiful. And I had to learn that. I can promise you, I gave even 7-8 years ago when I met my wife, I would tell some of her punk bands, I'd call them boy bands. you know, just really screwing with her, but also that wasn't my thing.
Right.
And I had to learn, but that was their thing.
Well, even generationally, as you see it manifest differently, you're like, oh, okay, this thing I've been trying to hold on to is this thing near and dear to me has actually just evolved into something I don't maybe always recognize, but the roots are still there.
Yeah, but rolling back and trying to support instead of being judgmental or something it's pretty cool, and it's an evolution. We all have to learn it, and hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We're not all going to,
and sometimes only with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah, and I'm sure my buddy Dan's standing in earshot of us, and I'm sure I've given him shit about a band that I was. But you know what? I learned that that band was important to Dan.
Yeah.
You know, and that should have been important, and I might have been just ripping him.
Right. Very likely the case.
Most likely, but I also was probably being a judgmental dick at sometimes. And let's all try not to be that dick. You know?
Certainly. So what are some of like the more like successful initiatives that you think, and memorable initiatives, I guess I would say that Punk Rock Saves Lives has been a part of, that they really stand out to you?
We're always doing the Marrow, and you know, just from Bowling for Soup, we found out from their last tour, just from Bowling for Soup, 9 people matched and donated to save a life.
And that alone, that's incredible.
9 people from one tour.
Right.
One tour cycle.
These are people that could have been waiting like months and years, by the way.
And then on top of that, the Narcan's been insane. We've been giving it out. We've probably given out 500,000 doses in the last 5 years. And who knows how many lives that saved. They won't, unless someone comes and tells us. Unless someone comes and says, I used your Narcan, we're never going to know.
Yeah, you're never going to have an accurate census, but you know if it's out there, there's no chance that it's doing bad.
And so that makes me, you know, as in swabbing this weekend, we're about half of what I was hoping we'd do. But we've given out, like I said, 1,000 doses of Narcan. That's going to go out in the streets of Chicago and save somebody's life tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's unfathomable. You know what I mean? It's like the mental health group. If someone needs help and actually reaches out, and we get them to a therapist, or just a punk rocker answers their post on Facebook and says, "Hey man, I went through that last week.
Yeah,
I did this. You want to talk? Call me." That happens. I call a few every so often if I see somebody I know in there that's having a really bad time. I'll make a call.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be publicized.
It costs nothing but your time, and ultimately, I think like even independent of like maybe the self-reward you might feel from being able to like exert that outward, you know that it goes beyond that. Like there's something just so intrinsically altruistic about it that you almost can't do it in a selfish way. Even if you are, it's like you're not, because you can't. Like if your outreach is, I'm gonna be there for you in any way. Just the conversation, just the phone call, the text to let you know I'm thinking about you. Like I've been noticing, I feel like you've been having a hard time. Like any of that goes so much further than you could possibly realize. And the fact that it can't be quantified is kind of like another part of what I think makes it so special.
You know what? We're really pushing, and I'm pushing it as the big burly gray mohawk guy.
Yeah. For sure, you need to be on a T-shirt eventually. Like,
tell your friends, tell your people. Make sure you tell them you love them.
Yeah, I think
that's those. Oh, telling someone you love them cuts through a lot of bullshit.
Yeah,
and we're like we said, the big burly guys. We were told not to do that. We were, and you know what? I might not know you, but if I get to know you, I'll tell you I love you. If I meet you and we had a 5-minute conversation right there outside the booth, and you opened up, there was a guy here a minute ago that told me on his way here he found out that his lung problem was actually lung cancer. And he told me he was going to go join Johnny Cash in the grave, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No. I'm not going to let you give up, dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I'm like, fuck no, dude. You know, I want you to go enjoy the music, They've got you on blood thinners, so be the fuck away from that pit.
Yeah. Hydrate.
Be away from the pit. I want you to be safe, but I want you to go enjoy. And then when you get home tomorrow, Tuesday, whatever, you start your treatment and you go kick ass. Don't fucking...
You have to value how precious life is. And I think when you lose friends or family members to anything, just regardless of whether it's natural causes or something premature like suicide or drug abuse or anything like that, there is just something that, like, you realize, like, a spark has been taken, like a gift is now gone, and there's no getting it back, and there's no reason to relinquish it because we all go there anyway. Like, that is inevitable. None of us get to escape that. So why not stay here and do the work to be able to contribute and grow? And
I might not be able to cure you. I'm pretty sure I can't.
Yeah.
But if you need my ear, fucking reach out.
I felt like I was behind the counter of an organization.
My wife and I are both empathic, and we take on a lot of weight. People talk to us at these things. We get some trauma drops.
There's real gravity to it.
There's real gravity to it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's tough on us because we feel it. But you know what? We wouldn't have put ourselves in these crosshairs.
That's your gift.
Yeah, we didn't. We don't want any bullshit. I don't want to be. People know me because I do this.
Right.
I don't want to be. Like, I'm not trying to be the rock star that I never got to be. I'm trying to make a difference.
And you're not doing it just for the sake of being known for doing it. Like, you're doing it because the impact is obviously tangible and clear.
I mean, half of the artists here this weekend have stopped by the booth to say hello.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that. Like, how is it that you guys kind of engage with the punk rock community and musicians to spread the message? Like, are there any sort of like initiatives you do?
It's just years and years and years of touring and meeting people, and they've seen what we're trying to do, and everybody, it's unbelievable who wants us on tours, who's genuine to us. We'll do PSAs, if we call them.
Yeah.
It's just really great, and we're working. We have a cardboard guy out in California that is trying to develop a cardboard version of that harm reduction box that we carry, that we can fill up, give to a touring band of any size when they leave on tour, stock the first time.
Yeah.
Give them the Amazon wish list to refill it.
Yep.
And
drop ship it to make sure they've got it the whole time.
And it's on the road.
Yeah.
And we might not be able to fill it for them every time. They can order some Amazon stuff just like we do.
But when it's filled, it's going to good use.
Yeah, everything. And this sounds crazy. It took my wife doing this for it to become. And what started our harm reduction box was my wife's like, we need tampons at shows.
Yeah.
So we put tampons in a cup.
We just need them for free. Like, it's a thing that happens. Like, they should just be available.
We started putting them in the pen cup on the table, and if someone needed one, they were there, and that grew into that harm reduction box. And
humble beginnings.
Yeah, but it became, there's 30 or 40 things to take in there that try to help your day. You know what I mean? And it all came from, damn, menstruating people might need
might need a little help. A little leg up, please. A little help.
And every time, it'll feel like, sometimes it feels like I haven't given out any tampons in a week, and then I'll look down and the whole box.
The box is gone.
And I'm like, well, yeah. And I've had the ones grab them and go, you just saved me.
Do like corporations
like,
do corporations help out at all with that, with maybe like donating or being a part of that?
As of yet.
That's crazy, because I feel like as you guys as a 501c3, you would think that could be a part of their community outreach, and easily something is tax write-offable for them to be like, this is a donation to help communities across the country.
But also that does fall into our DIY ethics.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I'm not gonna, if Procter & Gamble wants to send us 1 million boxes of tampons and pads, send them.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure they get given away. Okay, you're going to make your money somehow anyway, corporation. I'm going to give it to the people that need it.
Yeah, it's not that they're not going to make money off of the sales that they make. This is almost like their community outreach, and one they should want to be a part of.
See, we're talking sins here.
yeah. I know that's not common, but
that's not common. That's a big joke, but it's true. We've had a few, like, believe it or not, Malort, the famous Chicago Jepson's Malort company, the Carl Jepson company. They are so wonderful to us, even though it's just a crazy little liqueur that likes to make fun of itself. They've been really good to us in supporting our missions, and we've had Monster and PBR sniffing around the doors, and we're trying to decide.
Yeah, you gotta tell them to get off the fucking fence. Yeah, like, be a part of the movement.
And just help us help.
Yeah. And they want that too. Even if you're just aesthetically a part of your brand, being like, I don't know, does that seem like a good thing to pair my brand with? I don't see how it's not. Because it's just showing empathy.
But, if I don't know, if Raytheon came to me tomorrow going, hey, we want to donate $2 million. $2 million could do a lot of good.
Right.
We want it for more profits.
Right.
That's where you have to sit down and
that's
decide.
Your ethos.
Yeah, you have to make those decisions on your ethos. But I've also been told, guess what? They're going to use that money to do bad. Take it from them and do good with it.
Right.
I don't know.
It's hard because it's a real. I mean, that's a conundrum, right? Like, there's no way to do that without feeling some sort of culpability to it.
People have tried to get me to, and I just don't know. I want to help everybody we can help. I don't want to ever get rich doing this. This is not what that's.
It's not the intention.
No. If we can pay our house note and travel and do this without the charity folding, then good. We put out fun T-shirts and stuff that luckily we get pretty affordably printed, and the money goes right back. We have 2.5 employees in America. We're
2.5?
Yeah. I say half because Jamin from Malarian His Flask works part-time for us behind the scenes, advancing shows. So our entire payroll for 3 employees is $120,000,
which is like a pittance, and it's probably what helps keep the wheels on the bus.
It literally pays our house note at home so that we do have a house when we go.
Well, I wanted to ask you earlier when we were trying to set this up, you had the volunteers were off going to seek war, and you're like, well, there's only 3 of us here to man the fort, let's do it whenever they get back, and I can kind of re-wrangle things. That kind of ties into this question I had about fan engagement and volunteering, and what role do you find that fans and concert goers play in this nonprofit's efforts? And are there any sort of standout moments of fan involvement that kind of resonated with you recently?
It's unbelievable with us. We've got the most passionate volunteers, and people in the punk rock world want to do good thing and want to do it. And the cool thing is, look where we're doing it.
Right.
We're doing activism at concerts and festivals.
It's not a bad gig.
You get, as a volunteer, you are working hard for us, but I'm very clear. Oh, you're fake Gore. Larry had never seen Gore. I made him go watch Gore.
Right. Should have sent him there in a white T-shirt.
Yeah. No, Larry will never get the Gore stuff on him. No. He's in earshot too, guys. That's why we're making fun of Larry. But
that's all they're getting out of it.
But we had volunteers today. Laura Jane Grace and our friends in Catbite, both supporters of the charity, did the Op Ivy set, and they played all of Op Ivy's songs today.
That's awesome.
All of our volunteers wanted to see that, so me and 2 people stayed here, let them all go. But guess what? One of them brought back the Catbite skateboard I had signed by all of them, and now we have an auction piece,
which is going to bring right back into Punk Rock Saves Lives.
And it's also rad. Do I want to give it up?
Yeah, do I want to give it up? No. Do I have a place on my mantle I could put it? Absolutely.
Actually, I do not.
Yeah.
I have been a collector I'm a poster collector, and my house is a little rock and roll Hall of Fame, but I don't have any more room. I have a little bitty house in Denver, Colorado, and it's
full up. I
should not be collecting anymore. But no, that board, who knows what it's going to raise, and who knows how much that one board can fill that that harm reduction max.
Yeah, and any amount is a positive amount. It's all a net positive at that point. Like, what does it take for them to sign and know that this is going to somebody that's going to make their...
We're 14 minutes from drawing for the skateboards for today.
Even better.
So,
do you have any challenges you find that you run into? I feel like you really can't with the punk rock ethos and in activism.
Our number one challenge is vehicle maintenance issues.
Right. Yeah.
That's
the oil changes, tire changes, trailer.
Just breakdowns.
Oh yeah.
We had an awesome RV and it blew its engine 4 times last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're doing any traveling or touring in that regard, you really beat them up.
And so, quality transportation, getting to all this stuff is our number one challenge.
So, what are some? If that's one of the goals, what are some other upcoming goals that you think Punk Rock Save Lives has to sort of like look forward to on the horizon?
Well, it's I think it's unlimited.
The cardboard harm box being able to be shipped out to like
I want to get those in hands. I want to take the cancer thing to another level. I want people to realize that swapping your cheeks and donating either stem cells or marrow is not scary.
No, I don't know why I ever got stigmatized. It was unknown for a while. Right, yeah, certainly, yeah. Why? Why would that have happened?
Me and House and Will Smith need to have a talk. No, but everything's always, TV is drama and it's always the worst case scenario. So people think they take it from your spine. They never took it from your spine. People think you're awake when they do it. You're not awake when they do it. If you donate stem cells, it's kind of like donating platelets. So you are awake.
But it's also like minimally invasive.
Yeah, I've done it. The drugs they give you for a few days prior makes you feel crappy, but then you cycle your cells out and you go back about to zero.
Right.
If you are asked to do the marrow donation, you're asleep, you wake up with a really, really sore hip, but most of us can heal in 5 to 7 days, and you gave another person a chance at it.
A real, like not even just like maybe a chance, like a
chance.
Exactly.
I would love to do some more work on the diabetes side and make sure we're not gouging diabetics.
Right.
And
at least until the insulin cap goes through. And
I want to make sure people understand that asking for mental health help is not a weakness.
I tell people all the time, I go to therapy once every week, every 2 weeks. I've been traveling, so it'll be 2 weeks this time.
My wife is on the more front of it. I all of a sudden heard a Rob Zombie song. I didn't even realize he was on.
Yeah, it's crazy the soundtrack we have.
But the bottom line is, do something.
Yeah.
Stand up for somebody. Don't be an active bystander. Don't get in the middle of something, but to do a distraction technique.
Yeah.
Tell someone their hair is cool. Tell someone their shoes are cool.
Oh, all the time. It's so easy to give out compliments, and I love doing it because I get them now and again, and I'm like, damn, it just does feel good. It's so stupid how silly it is, but like, it seems menial, but it's not. It just feels good.
Don't ever get in the middle of somebody fighting, but you could distract somebody easily long enough that the person that's in a bad position has an escape chance.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff I want to keep teaching people. That stuff I would love to one day have a therapist in every part of the country that would be willing to come to festivals with us.
Yeah.
Maybe create a little quiet area that if someone needs to talk to someone, it's there on site.
Yeah, that seems like such an ingenious idea to like.
That's a dream of mine. If we could go to Riot Fest and they gave us a way to make a little room off the back of
a trailer or something,
where if someone is having an issue that day, there's a licensed person that can talk to them for 15 minutes.
Right. And that every little bit helps, man.
That little bump. I mean, just that little tool or that little thing.
Those protocols, anything they can give somebody. I ask my therapist for this constantly. I'm like, I'm noticing that like I keep defaulting to doing this. Like, is there something I can do when I start to feel like this that can like get me out of just repeating the cycle and doing it over again? And I'm always astounded at the things he comes back and says, because he's like, he'll point out something I wasn't looking at, and sometimes that's literally all it takes, is just being able to have it pointed to, so you can have your eye on it and be like, oh, I am doing this, or I am starting to feel like this. Dial it back a little bit. I don't have to be this upset about this or worried about this. Like, worrying is literally just worshiping the problem that you don't want to have happen, and it's really hard to escape that sometimes. So I know we're coming up at 7:51 now, and we have the thing coming up. Last question, just some personal reflections. How has leading this nonprofit impacted you personally, and what advice do you have for people that want to combine their passions for meaningful causes? Because that's what this was ultimately born from.
I've learned by leading it that I am fallible.
Yeah.
You know, I know I've stepped on toes the wrong way as we found this out. I know I'm the enemy in somebody's story.
There's a learning curve.
Yeah, and I hate that. I don't like that exists. But I want to, you know, if I've wronged you somehow, I apologize.
You don't strike me as the kind of person that doesn't try to show up every day and strive to be a little bit better than you were the day before.
And that's all we can do. And
yeah,
I've learned that more through this, because we all get arrogant. We think we know the right way. Learning to listen to my volunteers when they have an idea instead of thinking I knew it all. That's something I'm striving for every day as me. As the nonprofit, we're learning every day how to do this chapters thing.
Yeah.
Letting go of the reins.
How it can scale and help.
How it can grow and how it can, you know, Shiloh here's in Atlanta. What if Shiloh calls me and goes, hey, we're going to this skate park to set up a booth.
Yeah.
And
because it's Tuesday and I'm bored.
It's Tuesday and I'm bored. I'm going to go set up. And I didn't even think of that. And boom. What if they signed up one person and that one person saved a life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm learning every day to listen more. I'm not the greatest at it. I sometimes think
it's a muscle.
I've been there. Yeah. I know better than now. No, and it's not true. And I've done a lot. I know how to set up. I know how I like things done.
Yeah. We all do.
Like tonight, when we start to break down to set up for tonight, I want it to be. I want to pack up and be the lead pack up person because I need to know where it is when I get to LA.
Right. Yeah. I want to play the game of Tetris tonight.
Yeah. So, and but learning to listen and do is a big deal, and you can put that into life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're learning every day how to do this, how to turn in the paperwork right, do the tax implications right, and it's raining again. Oh man.
Shocker.
But yeah, learn, do, evolve, keep working to be better at helping people, being better at doing a good thing, you know, and that's encourage.
Yeah. Well, Rob Rushing, a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thanks,
I'm really glad you gave me the time today. I really appreciate it. Are there like the socials and websites? Where can people find you to get involved and even just like get the help?
punkrocksaveslives.org. It's all there. If you're on socials, Facebook, Punk Rock Saves Lives. Look for the national one because we've let the chapters open groups. So you're gonna Instagram. You're gonna run into more than one. It's look for the main one. Join the chapters. Get involved in your town. We're gonna do more.
Well, good luck with the raffle tonight. Thank you so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it. While it's getting windy, I'm gonna let you tend to the herd and get this situated.
Right at 8 o'clock, Mother Nature's getting crazy again.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
One love.
Pleasure, brother.
Up
Thank
the punks,
you.
guys. Cheers.
We're always collaborating at all times with the universe.
That is a wrap on another episode of the Collab or Die podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed making this episode for you. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, the part where I beg you to please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Don't be that guy. Follow us on all your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And don't be shy. Give us a shout out on social media at Collab or Die Podcast on all the cool platforms to share your thoughts, your feedback, and your love. Until next time, Collab or Die, baby.